What's going on YouTube? Evil here. Today I got you a collection video. We're gonna go through my Super Nintendo collection. So I'm gonna show you my accessories, my consoles, and what games I have. So first off, this is my Super Nintendo, where I got as a child. In here, I got a converter that allows me to plug this in my Super Nintendo, and I could play imports, Super Famicom games, Japanese Super Nintendo games on this console without doing any modifications. I also got the Super Nintendo Junior. I one time found this in the dumpster, believe it or not, and it worked after cleaning it. The main difference between the consoles is this was a cheaper version of the original, so this one doesn't have any components, cables to hook up on your console, TV. This one has component cables. That's the main difference, other than the size. Alright, so put these consoles to the side. Controllers. This was the traditional controller that was packed in with the Super Nintendo. Y'all familiar with this? Y'all have a Super Nintendo. This is the Super Pad controller, as the button layout similar to the Super Famicom buttons, where they're all colored instead of purple and purple. And then I also got the Super Nintendo mouse, which was mainly used for like Mario Paint. I don't have the mouse pad, but you can use anything. You can use a piece of plastic as a mouse pad and it'll still work. And last accessory, the Super Game Boy, able to play your Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo. Awesome. Now as for the games, I have a couple Super Famicom games, like by couple I mean like 4 or 5, and the rest are Super Nintendo games. So I guess we'll go to the Super Famicom ones first. Got Final Fight, Super Famicom. Got Dragon Ball Z Butoden 3, Super Butoden 3. Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden 2. This is the better one out of the Butoden games. And Final Fight 2 for the Super Famicom. So those are all my Japanese games. So now go to the main games. Mega Man X. One of my all-time favorite Mega Man games. Vegas Streaks. Super Putty. Clock. This is pretty much the original Rayman before Rayman. Wonders from the Ease is Ease 3. From you Ease fans. Earth Defense Force. Oh, this is a childhood classic, Battletoad and Double Dragons. I used to play this game a lot when I was younger with my cousins. Super Off-Road. Some of these games you'll recognize from watching my older Retro Treasure unboxings. I just tossed them in there too. Pocky and Rocky. This is a pretty rare games nowadays. The second one's really even more expensive. Like it's almost like a $200 game. The original Mortal Kombat. I got this game as a child. My aunt gave it to me. No, I remember wrong. I wanted this game as a child, and my aunt gave me Turtles in Time as a present, and I had to get that later on my own. Lethal Enforcers. This is a light gun game. PacMan, The New Adventures. PacMan 2, The New Adventures. This is a weird PacMan game. I think that's the one where Pac-Man's on drugs. Super Mario World. This is my pack-in Super Mario game that came in with my console as a child. Mad Hours. I beat that game many times. I have practically all the secrets in that game memorized. Secret of Mana, which recently came out on the Switch with the trilogy. That's the original cartridge. Kirby Superstar. Probably like the best Kirby game on the console. Street Fighter 2 World of Warriors. This is the original Street Fighter 2. This is where my love of Street Fighter began, with that cartridge. The 7 Saga. This game is not that good. It's kind of boring. Roadrunner Death Valley Rally. Spider-Man Xmen Arcade's Revenge. This is a pretty hard game as well. To be honest, I only beat the Spider-Man level in this game and the Gambit one time. Jungle Book. Disney Jungle Book. Super Mario Kart, the game that started the whole Mario Kart franchise. Still a good game. F-Zero, the game that people are begging Nintendo to get a new entry of, but instead we get spiritual successors. Captain Commando. This is a really fun game, but the Super Nintendo version was actually had the blood and all that stuff censored compared to the arcade version. But it's still a cool game. Shoplifter 3. This is actually one of the games I found in the dumpster with that Super Nintendo Junior, so it still worked. Jeopardy Sports Edition. You want to impress your parents with your sports knowledge of the past. Oh, this is one of my favorite Super Nintendo games, Xmen Mutant Apocalypse. It's like it's a one-player beat 'em up with Street Fighter-like moves integrated in the game. So like you would have to do like a Hadouken if you want to shoot Cyclops' optic blast, for example. Batman Returns. This is a really fun beat 'em up. If you get a Batman game, get this one for Super Nintendo. Super Star Wars. All the Star Wars games on Super Nintendo were really frustrating and difficult. Just for the sake of being really frustrating and difficult. Revolution X, Music is the Weapon, featuring Aerosmith. That's a mouthful title. It's a whatever, I didn't like it that much. Mortal Kombat 3. This is my childhood copy. I played the hell out of this game. It's one of my favorite Mortal Kombats, outside the newer ones. Super Punch Out. Excellent title. I kind of like this version better than the NES Punch Out, to be honest. Tetris 2. Next we got Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. First Yoshi's Island game, really excellent game. Mystic Quest. This was supposed to be like a RPG for newbies, but I didn't like this game that much. Then we got Secrets of Evermore. Samurai Showdown, the original one for Super Nintendo. Mega Man X3. You know, this one's a pretty pricey game nowadays, going up to $200. Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo. Killer Instinct. Classic game. I think it's the only game that has a black cartridge. Airstrike Patrol. Sim City. Breath of Fire. Another game where the main protagonist, main character's name is Ryu. Wings to Ace High. Wings 2, Ace High. Wings 2. Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. This is a really fun game. Turtles in Time. It's my childhood copy. One of my favorite games on the console. Wordtrix. You play Tetris? Here's Wordtrix. It's Tetris with crossword puzzles instead. Mega Man X2. I got all three of the X games on my Super Nintendo. Spawn. Spider-Man. So this one, I think, based on the anime series at the time in the 90s. Super Mario Allstars. The original remake game before remake games started being a modern thing. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Got all the Mortal Kombats except for the second one on my Super Nintendo. Donkey Kong Country 2. Diddy Kong's Quest. Really fun game. But I personally like the original one better. Donkey Kong Country. I know a lot of people like the second one better, but I like the first one better. I like playing as Donkey Kong. Jurassic Park. Ooh. Super Off-Road. The Baja. Star Fox. Super Metroid. Final Fight, the American version. If you saw my most recent unboxing, Uniracers of Retro Treasures. We got the Addams Family Values. And we got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for Super Nintendo. And these are all my loose cartridges. Kind of. I also got Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. I don't have the box, but I got the manual and cartridge. We got Porky Pig, Haunted Holiday. I think I'm just leaving the box if games are in there. Spider-Man Separation Anxiety. This is a alright beat 'em up. At least this one's 2 players, unlike Maximum Carnage. Alien vs Predator. This one is one of those few games I have the box still, but missing the manual. We got Maui Mallard and the Cold Shadow. Mario Paint. This is what that mouse is for, the little mouse device for this game. Before we had Windows Paint, we had Mario Paint. We got Sky Blazer. This is when Sony was a publisher. See? A Sony game. Got that complete. Got Tetris Attack, which is not really a Tetris game, but it's more like Pokemon Puzzle League for the N64, but Yoshi themed. We got Dr. Mario and Tetris. This one's complete. And last but not least, Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters for the Super Nintendo. This one's complete. This is one of my favorite Super Nintendo games, is up there. It's kind of like Street Fighter 2 with Ninja Turtle characters. It's a really good game. Get the Super Nintendo version. The Genesis version is not that good. And I also have this Earthbound Uncut. This one is my only reproduction cartridge I have right now, and it's kind of like the Japanese version of Earthbound, but it's uncensored and it's in English, so cool. But yeah, this is my current Super Nintendo collection. My games, accessories, 2 variant consoles. I'd like to know what you guys think of the collection. What games you think I should add in my collection. I one day want to have a full set Super Nintendo, but I know that's, you know, expensive thing to do. A lot of Super Nintendo games are really expensive, some of those rarer ones, but yeah. Alright guys, this is Evil. Thanks for checking out the video of my Super Nintendo collection. If you like this video, leave a comment, and maybe I'll do another collection video in the near future. Thanks for checking it out. Hit that like, subscribe. Until next time. Bye.